What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Grind Force Gaming. Nova here with another Street Fighter Duel video, and today we are going to be covering the new event for Gouken. He just released today, and as a result, we have a brand new trial to do. And as always, I like to put together a little something to show you guys the team compositions that I use to help you beat it faster. So we'll take a quick look at his skills. I'm not going to dive, really too deep into this. He's doing some decent damage just from the looks of it so far. And I haven't done a lot of testing, right? So I kind of did the trial, and I've just been reading up on his skills and taking a look at everything that he does. But there's definitely a lot more that I need to do. I need to play around the trial a little bit more to test him out. But he's doing some void power. He's doing thunder, steel thunder. So he's doing some stacking for himself, both defense and attacking as well, which is nice. And it looks like that does translate to other allied fighters as well. So he's not only boosting himself, but he's also helping boost his teammates. He's doing some shock damage, which is really cool. He is a tank, so I do see some potential here having him be part of the same team as like Sagat and Trendy Cammy. I think that could be a really interesting combination to test out. Unfortunately, in the trial, we don't really have that capability to test things out, in depth in that way. I really wish that we did, but unfortunately, we don't. His passive is quite good. It's similar to what we're seeing already with Bison and E Honda and even Virgil and Nero as well. They had the ability to, upon receiving fatal damage, depending on certain mechanics within the game, they actually don't end up getting knocked out. So that is something very interesting to take note of here. He does have that mechanic, and he also applies it to his teammates, which is kind of cool. So through his passive, we do see that if an allied fighter is going to take fatal damage, you'd have the ability to withstand that and actually survive it, which is cool. He's the first fighter to do that, to apply that to another allied fighter. So it just kind of helps improve the survivability. And then his fighting spirit is basically just making his steel thunder stacking and his void stacking better than it already is. So if you are going to go for him, the fighting spirit is definitely something worth looking into. So an SS grade is a great start if you do want to pull for him. His vehicles are doing the same thing, just helping out the steel thunder. It's just making him stack even more, basically. So anyway, I think, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm correct here. And the steel thunder reduces damage, and void power increases damage dealt. So it is a combination of the two. He's increasing his attack, and he's also increasing his defense, which is very cool. So anyway, we're going to get right into the event here. In the past, I used to do these a lot faster, but I received enough complaints on YouTube that they were too fast. So this will just be regular speed now for you guys. If you want to speed it up on your own, by all means, go ahead. If you want to pause it so you can check the lineups, feel free to pause it as well. Viper was very present in this event, which was great because she does very well in these trials. She's an incredible fighter to have access to, and I used her a lot. I didn't really slot Gouken's skills that much because his damage in comparison to the obvious like DPS choices, he's not going to be doing the same amount. And I do think that this trial specifically, as far as the enemy team composition was based, was a little bit, they had a little bit more power and a little bit more sustainability on the front line. So having a fighter available to you like Viper made things a lot easier. I mean, right, we saw Sagat in the first fight. We've got E Honda now in this fight as well. And we've got a lot of back end damage coming in. So as a result, it's good to get like some AoE that you're going to be hitting the back line with, or if you do have Viper or Guy even as an example, then you can just pretty much avoid the front line, and then you can make your way through. This fight, if I remember correctly, was actually kind of close. I was hoping that Charming Dudley was going to do some good damage to E Honda in the beginning, but he didn't for some reason. And even watching it back now, I didn't notice why. But it can just be kind of a tough lineup to deal with here. Yeah, so this is where I kind of thought to myself, like, well, this is actually quite interesting, right? Because he hasn't taken fatal damage yet. So when Charming Dudley goes in to do it, he survives it and is able to counter them with his own super. And I ended up winning as a result, which I was pretty happy about. I was quite interested to see that that mechanic actually worked in that way, and that I had footage of it actually making it the difference between winning and losing the fight. So, maybe he is pretty good. I don't want to like make any decisions right now on whether you should draw for him or not. And to be honest, I'm not going to say whether you should draw for him or not, because it's a personal choice at this point. If you want the fighter, go for him. But with the special summons, I think you just need to be careful about how you do it, because you don't get a lot of the tickets. They're very hard to get. The draw rate is very low. And unless the fighter is like really, really OP or game breaking, then I'm not sure. In my opinion, personally, I'm not sure if you should even be drawing for any of them at all, because the more you save up, the better chance you have of, like, in the future actually pulling a full SSS grade of like a collab fighter, for example, that actually breaks the game and does better things for you than some of the ones that we have access to right now. Like Evil Ryu is arguably the best special summon that we have right now, and then Akuma would be second to that if you're like looking for boss stuff. And I'm not really sure how Gouken fits in the mix yet. He's too new. Today's day one, so we will definitely take a look more into that and see how things go in the future. But again, Viper's just cleaning up in here. I found this trial to be very easy, and you'll notice here that this is just a one-time through. I didn't lose any fights at any point. I almost lost the second one, but aside from that, I mean, they're pretty easy, and you can use any team you want. There's no one correct route to go here. This is just who I use based on how I know that the fighters function. Combos can be different if you want to use different people's supers. I only slotted Gouken's super once, and I think it's on the final fight, actually. I think it's the one after this that I did it, because there really just wasn't, based on the team composition I wanted to use, there wasn't really a better super to use in that regard. But I don't know that you really even need to slot him. Like, his C2's pretty good. I think I use that one more often than not. But you can probably go through it not even slotting him, to be honest. Just having him up front is quite nice. And if anyone does get knocked out, then he'll take over a combo slot if one opens up in that way. All right, guys, so final one. This is the final fight here. And I want to say that I did have him slotted, because I don't remember who I pulled for this team. I think I put Guile in the back, and I didn't even slot Guile. I think I just left him there just in case someone got knocked, because I think the potential for Dulcim is pretty high to get knocked here with Cammy being present. Like, if he gets out of like the lineup order or something, he can become too vulnerable. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did. So I put Dulcim in C3 just for the AoE, because you got to get past the Bison. So you're better off using that AoE. But this was a tougher one, I think. But Dulcim is just so strong, like especially when he has his FS30 and he has his 6 vehicles. It's like, it's crazy how powerful he is. Like 2 combo chains right there, and everyone's gone. And I didn't even use Guile. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's the trial for you. I hope that helped you out. I didn't find it to be too difficult, so definitely use these teams if you are going to move through it. This worked extremely well for me. It was quick. It was simple. Got me the 5 special summon tickets right away, which was incredible. It's a nice little gift to get at the end. I'd rather get those than some of the other stuff they give sometimes. So I'm going to keep playing around with Gouken. I'm going to keep checking on his skills, reading up on them, and trying to have things work a little bit differently, and try to like adjust the slotted skills and see how things work. But everything for him is single target. Take note of that. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video today, guys. I will have another one upcoming very soon about the event in general, so stay tuned for that. Please take a moment to subscribe, throw a like on the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.